Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to Wake Up Wednesdays. So, wake up. How are you doing today? How is your week going? Did you get a chance to lay out your schedule on Friday so that you can hit the ground running on Monday and Tuesday? Uh, were you working towards your plan, tracking towards your plan on Monday and Tuesday? Did maybe one of those days get away from you? You got sucked into meetings. Maybe there were production issues. Maybe the client called you. Maybe one of your team members called you with the crisis, and there was a whole host of things. And before you know it, you lift up your head, and we're in the middle of the week, and it's Wednesday, and you look down towards your plan. You're tracking towards your GSD list, your get stuff done list, and you're not making the progress that you wanted. So this is an opportunity for us to sync up with each other, to take a breath, and to get back on track, to get back on plan. So welcome to Wake Up Wednesdays and Wake Up. I want to talk to you guys today about an article I posted in the group chat entitled, How Do You Train and Onboard Your Team? And it's very important when training new team members or onboarding new members to the team that there is a structure and a plan for how you can onboard them and bring them aboard so that they can work within the ship of the team together and cohesively with everyone. Studies show that within the first 45 days, the new hire or new team onboarding turnover rate, meaning people that start a team and then leave in the first 45 days, is 20% and can scale up to 30% in the first 90 days. And what that means is for numerous reasons, new joiners, new team members will come onto a new team and they leave that team. 20% of the people leave the team in 45 days, and it can be north of 30% within the first 90 days. So by implementing just a couple key strategies, you can ensure that employees have a good onboarding experience and you also have a good experience with these new employees or new team members. So if you guys are wondering, well, Mark, why are you saying new employees or new team members? Because remember, in a perfect world, everyone works for me. Everyone works for us. We look in the org chart and they have a direct line into us. But the world is changing. And in my experience in managing projects for over 15 years, it's more likely that I'm managing things in a matrix environment. And what I mean by matrix environment is I may be the product manager or project manager, and I have a whole host of specialists working working with me. They have different managers. So if you can onboard a new team member and have a good structure and plan in place, it ensures their success. It also creates more of a team atmosphere so that folks are more inclined to work together and be more collaborative. So the very first thing you want to do, whether you are the product manager, project manager, or their direct manager, whether they are a completely new employee, they're transferring from another department, or they're lending you resource. What I mean by lending you resource, they might say, we agree that Jane is going to work with us on this project for the next 18 months, and she's going to give us 50% of her time, and the other 50% of her time is going to continue with her normal duties based on Jane's special area of expertise. Okay. So the very first thing you want to do is have some concept of an orientation. Now, I've seen firms that do orientation for 3 days. I've seen firms that do orientation for 3 weeks. I've seen places that do orientations for 3 hours. But there should be some structured orientation. And the key components of this orientation is number one, it is the very first thing they do their first day on the job or their first day being part of the new team. This could be sitting down, shadowing the expert in the room for a couple days, for a couple weeks. It could be a more formal orientation with an instructor in the front of the room, bringing in a new class, so to speak. So all of the new hires for November, let's say, or all the new hires for Q4, let's say, come together in a class and they're learning about the history, about the origin of your business, of your firm, of your business before they get into the specifics. but some concept of orientation in a very formalized structure, whether that be shadowing someone with a curriculum, whether that be having an instructor part, whether that be reviewing presented material or videos with them, and it should be agreed how long this orientation will be. So you welcome the new joiner, you welcome the team member, you try and be on site with them if you can. If you're like me and you work with people all around the world, in London and India and Hong Kong, I can't always be there to greet the folks that I'm working with or new joiners, but I will set up a virtual orientation hello so that I can onboard them properly. Once they go through their official orientation, you want to make sure that you set up an environment of what they call psychological safety for them. So simple stuff that managers sometimes miss. And what happens is employees can be sitting around for days or weeks with no computer access, no phone access, no video conferencing access, not the proper access to the system, or it gets thrown on them to come into a new company and figure out how to raise access for all these things. And they're running around talking to all these people. That can be very unsettling. That can create not the best experience for someone. So if you forget to do all these things ahead of time, that's okay. While they're going through the orientation process, you can get going on those. Or you can have someone on your administration team. You can ask someone like a project or a product manager to help you with that if you don't have time yourself. But it's very important that after their official orientation phase, that they have some psychological safety. They know where their physical space is, where they can sit, where the areas they can sit are. If they're a remote employee or a hybrid employee, right, they're comfortable in that environment. All their access is set up. They have everything that they need so that day one, it's all there for them. The next thing is to make sure you manage expectations, set clear goals and guidelines. So just because they went through an official orientation, just because they came in after the orientation and everything was set up for them, the expectation is not that you throw 30 things at them at once, that they work on 5 systems at once, that they do 20 trainings at once. So after that, you sit down with them again, say, hey, John, hey, Jane, can I sit down with you? How did your orientation go? You get feedback from them. How's your onboarding process going so far? Allow them the opportunity to give you feedback on how you can change and make the process better. And say, I wanted to sit down with you and see if we can agree on some dates. Tell me what you think. So for your first week, I was wondering if maybe you could work on ABC or XYZ. What do you think a good time would be to get that back, to start to show progress, to talk about that, and have that feedback. Let them discuss these things with you. And the last most important thing is to have some type of official SOP. So SOP stands for Standard Operating Procedures. Now, back in the old days, the SOPs were like these 30-page documents, and now that's sort of antiquated. We used to ask people to read through those documents. That's maybe not the best way to do it. What a better way might be is to have a series of short videos incorporated into your standard operating procedures in which you show them the cadence, the culture, or the proper policies and procedures in which things are done. And these can be quick videos of you recording your screen and showing them what you're doing in the system, or showing them what they need to do for the particular task. If they're working in a spreadsheet, if they're creating presentations, if they're creating designs, if they're updating a website, you can actually do a screen recording and show them some of the ways that your team operates. By doing this, it'll break up the monotony of reading a 30-page SOP, of being a little more interactive, and once again, agreeing to those times to say, okay, for your first week, why don't we agree on a check-in day of ABCXYZ, and let's check in every week at this time for 15, for 20 minutes, and let them give you feedback on those videos, on those SOPs, to say, hey, I really loved how you guys recorded your screen. I really loved how you worked me through this. I'm also shadowing Jane, who's our expert in this space. I had some questions on ABCXYZ. So encourage that dialogue back and forth over the course of the first day through the 90th day, and have check-ins at least once a week with goalpost markers every 30 days. So minor check-ins every week and then major check-ins every 30 days. And once again, by doing this, this will help onboard new employees and new team members to have a better experience. and it will reduce the amount of turnover. Once again, that turnover rate in 90 days can be as high as 30%, and in the first 45 days can be as high as 20%. So let's make sure that new employees, new joiners have a good experience. Let's make sure us as managers, as product managers, as program managers, that we are giving them a good experience. We're getting them on board with the vision and the mission, and it's less task driven. We're telling them what to do. If they're on board with the mission and the vision and they understand the OKRs, they will then execute on behalf of the mission and the vision within the frame of the OKRs, and you won't necessarily need to tell them what to do. You're managing a very small team. It's going to take a lot of your energy to tell everyone what to do. Imagine you were managing an organization of 30,000, 300,000 people. You couldn't tell them what to do, but you could get them on board with the vision. So once again, those key tips are: have an official orientation process, have the environment and the access ready for them where they feel psychologically safe, agree to timelines in regards to when you're going to meet, when things are going to be delivered, have that back and forth dialogue, and have your SOPs updated with not only written standard operating procedures, but quick video highlights of screen recordings broken down into segments so that it's bite-sized, manageable, and digestible. They know what to do, and that will help them get on board with the vision and the mission. Okay, guys, so welcome to Wake Up Wednesdays and Wake Up. I hope that you put these simple key strategies in place to help your new joiners and team members onboard properly. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave comments or reach out to me. I would love to help you. Let's keep the dialogue going, and we'll talk again soon. Okay, guys, have a great day. Bye-bye.